Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of... which one do I want? The 1,000 Pound Cider Review. So we're going to do the cider first. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's step back and grab the cider, shall we? This is from Tawse, or Tawse? I think Tawse. So this is Tawse Cider, or Cider. Cider. Original sparkling carbonated cider. 100% Ontario apples. Produced by Tawse Winery in Vineland, Ontario. So this is close to my old home. Ingredients: cider. You don't fucking say. I'm glad that your cider has cider in it. You say 100% Ontario apples. Well, why the fuck don't you say ingredients apples and then contains sulfites, because you also talk about sulfites? Why would you say it contains cider unless you're trying to hide things? Because you can say it contains cider and put a bunch of other things in it too. It could have pear juice. It could have this. It could have that. There's a lot of shit you could put in it and still be legally okay by just saying, hey, there's cider in this. It is what it is, right? It's just like when you see ingredients beer. Is that so? My beer has beer in it? Good to know my beer has beer in it. In this case, it's great to know my cider has cider in it. I've never had a cider from these guys. As most people know, I'm very, 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 very sensitive to sulfites. For me, they smell and taste like latex rubber. Will I pick them up in this? I might. That's the one thing I don't like. You can make homebrewed cider, never use sulfites, and it could last for years. So I don't understand why a winery does it. I mean, here's the one thing I've noticed. A lot of ciders made at wineries have a lot more... They end up with a lot more sulfites in them than... this is also 5% alcohol. They end up with a lot more sulfites in them than, say, a cider made from a cidery that isn't attached to a winery. Because wineries usually use sulfites as a shelf stabilizer in their wine. Grapes are a much more profound, much more rounded fruit. And they don't ferment the exact same way, to the point where your sulfite flavors are fairly well hidden in a wine. They don't hide as well in a cider, especially if you haven't back sweetened the cider or anything like that. Again, scent out of the can first. Okay, out of the can, it smells like sweet apples and urine. There it is, look-wise. Crystal clear, like crystal clear. Smell it out of the glass, shall we? Yeah, pretty much the same. Sweet apples and urine. I've never smelled this urine smell as I heard an accent say urine, and I've just been saying urine ever since then for the last little while. Urine. Anyway, I've never smelt a cider with sulfites that had this scent. So I don't think it's the sulfites just playing a trick on me. I think it's just a weird off-sweet cider and not knowing what apples they use or anything like that. I don't know what to expect, and my fucking hair needs to be taken care of one way or another. I need to do something with this shit. I need to find my hats. That's what I need to do. Cheers, let's drink it. Okay. First and foremost, I've had a lot worse ciders. That being said, I've had a lot better ciders. I'd say this is pretty middle of the road. It's pretty non-offensive. It is sweet, which is what I like. It does still have a lot of that tannic flavor that you would get from like an apple peel. And the sweetness does not taste like it's sugar sweetness or anything like that. It tastes like they fermented it and back sweetened it with more apple juice. Is what it tastes like. It tastes like a lot of the old homebrewed ciders I would make, where I would back sweeten at the end after fermenting out to a dry. I would back sweeten to a slightly off sweet. I don't taste urine. I smelled it. I don't taste sulfites, even though there's sulfites in this. So I'll give you a thumbs up for that. You know what? It's great when you say there's sulfites in it, and you've used them in a way, you've mixed it in a way, you've dealt with your cider in a way that you don't taste the sulfites, but you still have the sulfites for that extra shelf stabilization, even though I don't think you particularly need them. I'm just the end consumer, and doesn't really matter, right? If you feel you need them, you feel you need them. There's nothing I can do about that. It's actually quite a nice cider. And I keep drinking it, hoping that I taste some sulfite so I can actually scream about it. But I'm not. I'm not tasting any. I can't say that there is sulfites in this. That's an unfortunate thing, really, to be honest. I I really wanted to be able to say I didn't like this, but I can't say that. I have to say I actually quite enjoy it. Out of 10 on this, this is a solid cider, and I drink my ciders the same way I drink my beer, so they have been sitting on my floor. They're not cold. Excuse me. Out of 10, that's a 7. I'd buy it again. Cheers, YouTube. Bye bye.